What up, faithful? It's JD here with your Week 2 preview of your San Francisco 49ers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Hyped up for this game, guys. I'm sorry that this video is late, but better late than never. I'm here. Let's talk about it. Coming off this Week 1 game against Tampa Bay, I'm hyped up, guys. We're 1-0. The defense balled out. The offense, of course, has room for improvement. But here we are, with a perfect opportunity to do just that against the Cincinnati Bengals, whose linebacking core and secondary is suspect to say the least. So I expect Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo, and these San Francisco 49ers to get it right on the offensive side of the ball this week. I believe they're going to do that. But there are some things that concern me in this game. So without further ado, let's get into JD's 3 keys. Key to victory number 1, you must protect your $137 million man in quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Last week against Tampa Bay, they went up against a bigger, more plotting, beefier interior in Vita Vea and in Ndamukong Suh down there in Tampa Bay. But this week, you have a little bit different of a story on the interior because Geno Atkins for the Cincinnati Bengals is an absolute game wrecker. They have Carlos Dunlap on the defensive line as well. They're no slouches as far as their front four goes, so it's going to be absolutely critical, just downright. You have to protect Jimmy G at all costs. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's the most important aspect of this entire game because that linebacking core and that secondary in Cincinnati can be had. Not a lot of names back there. Not a lot of guys that you got to worry about necessarily. And I think coming off that Week 1 game where Jimmy didn't quite look his best, I think as long as you can protect him, as long as the guys on the interior like Laken Tomlinson, Mike Person, and Weston Richburg can do their job on the inside of this Niners offensive line and keep Jimmy G upright, I think this will be a get-right game for number 10. Key to victory number 2, on the flip side, the Niners defensive line should have a field day against these Cincinnati Bengals. Last week against the Seattle Seahawks, the Seahawks tallied up 5 sacks on Andy Dalton. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I think the Niners are going to just go out there and completely dominate because of what they did last week against Tampa Bay. Let me break it down to you this way. Andy Dalton, sure, that line is not very good. He can be gotten. But Andy Dalton's a guy that's going to get rid of the ball a lot quicker than Jameis Winston did. Winston likes to move around, buy a little time, whereas Andy Dalton, he's looking to get that ball out of his hands quick. So it's going to be so important for these defensive linemen of the San Francisco 49ers, Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, everybody, they're going to have to dominate at the snap. You have to get there quick. You have to disrupt him fast. You're not going to have all day, kind of like you did with Jameis Winston. So getting to Andy Dalton quick and often is going to be absolutely huge for the 49ers' chances in this game against the Bengals. And key to victory number 3, I'm concerned about a 49ers cornerback this week, and it's not the one that you're probably thinking of. It's not Ahkello Witherspoon. I'm concerned about Richard Sherman in this game. Not because I don't think he's back, not because I don't think he could, have a great game this week, but I think the Bengals are going to present a challenge to Sherman that he didn't really see last week against Tampa Bay. Sure, when he's matched up against Tyler Boyd in this game, I expect Sherman to hold his own. He's fine against bigger wide receivers. Not worried there. But what concerns me is when they move John Ross around that alignment on offense for the Bengals and they match him up against Sherman. I'm curious to see how that's going to, shape out because we know historically Richard Sherman struggles against smaller, faster, quicker receivers. So I would think the Bengals are going to do whatever they can to get Ross matched up on Sherman and exploit that mismatch because Sherman is not the best at changing direction. So I think that's something that we have to pay attention to in this game. When Tyler Boyd is matched up on Sherman, not too worried there. He's a solid receiver, don't get me wrong, but I think Sherman can definitely hold his own and win his side of that matchup. But when they put John Ross on Sherman, I'm wondering if they're going to bring some safety help over to that side. I'm wondering maybe if one of the linebackers might kind of cheat over a little bit and help out for those quicker routes, those slants and things that come in. We'll see what happens. But Richard Sherman in this game is definitely something that I'm paying attention to and will most definitely be a key to the 49ers winning this game. So there you have it, guys. Cannot wait for this game. pumped up as hell. The Niners have not started 2-0 on the road to begin a season since 1989. And how long has it been since this team has had a lot of success in the Eastern time zone? The Niners can do something very, very special this week against the Bengals. I expect the 49ers to win this game, and I expect them to go home to Levi's Stadium to face the Steelers in their home opener week 3 with a perfect 2-0 record. I'm pumped up. I know you guys are hyped. Let's go Niners and get this dub.